Do you also think that school is a scam? School is a waste of time. It is one of the things that teenagers always say, oh, school is a scam. And today we are going to look at it. Maybe I'm going to confirm to you that school is actually a scam. So stay with me. So before we get started, let me share this video so that we can have okay, so we are back. We are back. What class are you? You want to start by sharing with me the class you are. I know you're a teenager because this is for teenagers. We come here every Saturday, 8 p.m. and we'll talk to teenagers, the method thing. So today we are looking at Squeeze Scam. So let me know the class you are. And if you are watching on behalf of your child, let me know the class your child is. Let me tell you, you remember if you are already in secondary school, as a teenager in secondary school, and I'm sure you have done Constitution, Nigeria Constitution before. So let me tell you something. The first Constitution, do you remember the first, or do you know the first Constitution? It was the Clifford Constitution, right? So let's talk about it quickly to give a foundation to what we are going to learn today. So that was 1922, I think so, when we had the first ever constitution. Prior to that time, there was no constitutional thing. And in that 1922, when Clifford's Constitution was written, there was one major aspect of it, that is votes. Having the right to select your leader, it's a major thing. Hey, because you are the one the person is going to lead, right? So you should have a say. However, when that constitution was being written, not everybody could vote. No, not everybody could vote. Only people that could vote were the educated people, and the educated with property that they could vote. Now you will wonder, why would the only educated people be allowed to vote? The truth is, in those days, it was believed that, to be educated, to go to school, to graduate, is not like now that you have phones, you have the internet, you have everything. You can just Google any answer and take it now. Even if at the end of the day, you don't know it, you are not retaining the information, you can answer, you know it. But in those days, it was a different ball game. For you to be educated, you have to really, really sweat. You have to read books, loads of books. And in books you have wisdom. Wisdom is hidden in books. So it was believed that people who were educated were wiser than the people who were not educated. I mean, come to think of it, if you are not very educated, you are limited in knowledge. It's just about your experience that will give you the knowledge you have to navigate your ways, right? But if you are educated, it simply means that you are reading, you are not just getting the author's wisdom also. Hello, thank you for joining. You are not just getting the author's wisdom also. Authors, they put in days and days of research into their work. So it simply means that if an author is researching, they are asking questions, they are gathering information, they are reading everywhere. It simply means that if the author kind of carried that research, have about 100 people, 1,000 people they use as their experiment for their research, it simply means that you are also getting the knowledge of those 100 or 1,000 people added to your own knowledge, to the experience you have. So definitely, so in those days, the schooling depended solely on skills, on your ability, that you have to constantly read. You know what they call burn the midnight candle? You don't burn the midnight candle these days. In those days, burning the midnight candle, really wake up. It's not now that you just want any information. You just get your phone and you click, you are getting the information you need. In those days, you have to sweat it. You have to sweat it. You have to study day and night to get the information. So at the end of the day, if you pass an exam, you should be able to remember every single thing you read. You should remember like you have the knowledge really. So yes, it was easy to equate being educated with actually wisdom, because yes, you have to read, you have to do research, you have to do a lot of things that would make you wise. So in those days, it was like, so they didn't just need anybody, any Tom, Dick, and Harry to select a leader. because they knew that they knew that the less educated you are, or they were, the more sentimental they were, the more easily manipulated, or rather the more easily manipulatable they were. Someone with less education, they had less really reasoning. That was it. So that was why the constitution did not allow everybody to vote. Rather, the constitution allowed only people with education. And guess what? It was not just everyone with education that was allowed to vote. No, you needed to have a certain level of education, because they also had a clause: you'll be educated and you have properties. So they knew that, okay, just anybody not everybody could have properties. Not everybody. For you to be educated and have property, that means you would have educated yourself to a certain level. You would have studied, read to a certain level. It's just like, you have just OND, you have HND, or you have BSc, you have masters, you have PhD. If these people are going to work, for example, maybe they have should I say they have employment, that the PhD will definitely earn more than the one with masters, and the one with masters will earn more higher than the one with BSc. So just putting it like that, it simply means that the kind of property the ones with PhD and masters would have, the ones with BSc and lower may not have such those kind of properties. So it was again hinged on, you need to be super educated. That was why the property issue came in. Now, that was it. Education was used to determine how wise people were in those days. But we know that, okay, it is no longer that now. We know that people who are not educated, we have very many people who may not necessarily go to school, who may not necessarily be educated in the four walls, and they have wisdom, especially now in this era. As a child, if you are still making secular or popular, or you are just going with the flow, something is fundamentally wrong with you, because you don't need to sweat it so much for you to be wise. You have the internet with you. What you can do, you can constantly research and develop yourself. No, I'm just talking about being wise now. So that was then. Now, even if now, as we are, you no longer need to be educated to vote or be voted for. The truth of the matter is, education still plays a great role in who you are becoming. We cannot take that away. Now, we're having this education conversation because we are back to school. It is back to school. And I know that for very many teenagers, school is not something they like. School is not fancy. School is stressful. One thing I'll let you know is that there is nothing, even if you say, I don't want to go to school, school is stressful, there is nothing you will want. If you want to succeed in life, you must be ready to do the stress. When they talk about hard work does not necessarily mean go and start tilling, go and start breaking, stones, or go and start breaking firewood with your axe. That's not really hard work. Hard work simply means that you leaving your comfort zone. You leaving your comfort zone. You stretching yourself. You applying yourself. You pushing yourself when you need to. That is hard work. And education may seem hard work. I tell you, if you genuinely desire success, there is no way you will not put in the hard work. If you genuinely desire success in life, there is no way you will not put in the hard work. It is not possible. People say, I put in the smart work, whether hard work, they are all stretching yourself. Okay, let's go back to our topic now. We're still talking about school. So I was talking about, we no longer need education to vote and be voted for. We get that. But the truth of the matter is, how educated you are, having education still plays a long role in your placement in the society today. You cannot take that away. If you choose not to go to school, if you choose not to be educated, oh, you just drop it. After all, I can do 1,000,001 things without being educated. I can succeed in football without being educated. I can succeed in maybe fashion, maybe in movies and all of that without being educated. Guess what? You don't live in isolation. You live in a society. I know what that means. Tomorrow, someone is going to know that you did not go to school, and guess what they are going to do? They will use it against you. I'm sure you have seen people say, maybe adults around you, there are people, they can be super, how do I put it, successful economically. Oh, they have all the money, and because of that, people are around them. People are even listening to them, or rather pretending to be listening to them. When they leave, people are going to say, I believe that one, he didn't go to school. What does an illiterate have to say? He's just an illiterate. I beg, leave him. It's because he has money, They end up saying, hi, thank you for joining. They end up saying a lot of things like that. Why? Because that person is not going to school. Didn't go to school, rather. That person is going to be able to influence them to the extent that they have money. Once that money is gone, it is going to be like, this illiterate. So you see, going to school is not even something you want to play with. People always say, okay, at the end of the day, I'm not going to work with my certificate. Nobody says that. However, it is an added advantage. It is you not putting all your eggs in one basket. Because here is the thing about going to school, being educated. Being educated it builds your mental is your mental capacity. It builds you mentally. Then you have the certificate. You can say, okay, I want to be a footballer. I want to be a fashion designer. I don't need to go to school. But what if you fail in that aspect? Not because you are not doing enough, not because you are not setting your mind to it, not because you are not you are going to give up halfway that will make you fail. No. I've seen people, I've met people physically one-on-one who used to play football. Then they had one injury or the other, and then they couldn't continue with football again. A lot of them cannot go far again because they had all their eggs in one basket. I know someone who learned fashion designing. She was doing well. And along the line, she had an injury, her leg injury, and she couldn't continue. Today, good for her. She also had a certain level of education. She does other jobs. She works with her brain. Because if your hands, your legs, and all of that fail you, it is your brain that will guide you. So your hand will fail you, your leg will fail you, your brain will be there. So you going to school is an advantage. It just gives you options. You have different options. If maybe you learned a trade, a skill, you learned a trade, you don't have the resources to get started. You learned a skill, maybe handwork or something, but your hands are failing you. Your brain will not fail you. So you cannot use that your certificate. Use your brain to step in. I'm giving you 2 reasons now. One, I said it is an added advantage. It is you increasing your chances. It is you increasing your opportunities. It is you not putting all your eggs in one basket. And I talked about another thing. See, if you want to be respected, now you want people to actually see you, value you, and respect you, you will need it. So go and look at very many people around who are doing, maybe they are economically doing well, but they didn't go to school quite okay. They don't have the certificate, the university certificate. People go behind them and say, this one, I believe I'm an illiteracy, they worry him. Is it because he has money? No wonder, it's just money he has. And if he doesn't have money, where do you think this one, will anybody listen to him without money? It's because of money people are listening to him. So that means, apart from that money he has, he is worth nothing. He is worth nothing. Apart from being economically placed, he is worth nothing. You don't want to be worth nothing. You don't want it. So that when you open your mouth to speak tomorrow, to talk tomorrow, people will listen to you. They're not listening to you out of convenience. They're not listening to you because they want to please you. They don't want to offend you. Let me listen to him so that I'll be in his good book. That is not why they are listening to you. They are actually listening to you because you impact them. They are listening to you because you carry value. They know you carry value. They know they are going to learn from you. They know they will be blessed. That is why they are listening to you. So, teenagers, as you listen to me, I want to encourage you, take your academics seriously. Sometimes there are subjects you are struggling with, or maybe you don't even like the structure, the system of school and all of that. I get it. I was once a student like you, a teenager like you. I understand all of that. But I tell you one thing, if you set your mind to it, all you need to do is to be committed to it, is to push yourself. Just do the little extra, the teeny bit extra, the tiny extra that you have not been doing. Do it. You will realize that you begin to excel. And when you begin to excel, everything will fall in place naturally. When you begin to excel, you are going to love it. Because one of the reasons you may say, I beg, school is stressful and all of that. One of the reasons is because you are struggling. You think it is stressful. You think it is not fun. You think you don't love it because you are struggling. You are not winning awards. You are not getting medals. That is why. I tell you, by the time you apply yourself, you push yourself, you begin to get recognition, award, medals, and all of that, you are going to love it. You are not going to struggle again. When you stop struggling, you will see that the story will change. So instead of you to put your energy on, oh, school is a scam, I don't love school, put your energy on being better. Just try to be better. When you get better, you will realize that you are going to love it. Have you read the book Gifted Hands by Ben Carson? Oh, as a teenager, if you haven't read that book, please go and read it. Go and read it. When he was struggling in school, he wasn't so cool. Even his friends were teasing him because he was struggling. His friends were teasing him. School was just like one big chore, one task, something that he didn't quite enjoy. Teachers noticed him that he was struggling. His classmates, they would tease him, they would gossip, they would laugh at him. He didn't like it. But guess what? As soon as he began to push himself, as soon as he began to apply himself, as soon as he began to be committed, he started moving from F. Someone that used to have 0, like they'll do a test of 20, no single one mark, no single one. When he started doing better, he began to love school. That was how he grew from being someone that didn't like school to being a world-acclaimed neurosurgeon today. The first neurosurgeon that successfully separated twins, conjoined twins. They were conjoined on their head. That is it. You think, oh, school is a scam, or you don't like school. You have negative attitude towards school because you are struggling. And you are struggling because you are not applying yourself. You are not pushing yourself. No one says it's easy. No, it's not easy. But I tell you, there is no success story in this world that is easy. Any single person that is being celebrated today, whether they went through school or they didn't go through school, anyhow they are that they are being celebrated, it was never a bed of roses. It was never easy. They pushed themselves. They applied themselves. That is all you need to change your song from, oh, school is a scam, school is stressful, school is boring. That is all you need to change your story from that to school, for school to become something you enjoy. Just to push yourself a little bit, to leave your comfort zone, to set goals, to prioritize, to look within you and look at what you have not harnessed, the power you have within that you have not used. Go and look within, look for that power you have not used and begin to use that power. Use that power. Apply it. What are the study tricks you have not used? What are the study tricks you have not used? Maybe you have not used them because you don't know about them. Maybe you have not used them because you don't see them as important. Search within you. See them. As a teenager, you should know how you learn. What are your struggles? What do you struggle with? How do you learn typically? Put all of them into use, and you will see that, as they say in Pidgin English, nobody go see your back again. You will excel. So once you begin to excel, once you begin to once you begin to excel, once you stop struggling, you will realize that you will fall helplessly, desperately, hopelessly in love with school once you begin to excel. And you cannot begin to excel if you do not have the right attitude. The right attitude is not just saying it. It reflects in the choices you make. Now let's go on. I actually have a material I created for this. And if you are a teenager and you are listening to me, you can send me a message, and I am going to give you this material that you can use every single day for your not send a message really, just leave it in the comment section that you would like to have this material. It's a mini book that begins with the story of the Clifford Constitution I shared with you at the start. It's a beautiful story. I wrote it, I put it all together. You have a lot of things inside the material, so you can leave a comment after the video and I'll share it with you. So now let's see. Like I was saying, that if you are struggling, if you don't like school, you think it's a scam, all of that, you want to actually check out yourself. Are you struggling? That is one of the reasons you will think, school is a scam. You will not like school because you are struggling. It is difficult. It looks like a chore. And I told you, one of the ways for you to stop struggling is to be committed to your studies. Commit to it. Stretch yourself. Now let's see why you really don't like school, why you are struggling. First of all, I have a set of questions here I will ask you. 8 questions. You can answer them in the comment section, or you can also choose to just do them on your own, answer them on your own, not necessarily in the comment section. They are going to help you check your attitude. When you begin to develop a positive attitude towards your studies, I tell you, the story will change. Because once you develop a positive attitude, you will excel, you will do better, your brilliance will show. Once your brilliance begin to show, you realize that you too will start winning awards, you too will start getting medals. Once that begins to happen, your general view, your attitude towards studies generally will change. Question number 1, answer honestly. For each question, choose yes, sometimes, or no. Question number 1, do you finish your assignment without waiting to be pushed or shouted at? That is it. It shows you your attitude. If you don't finish your assignment, or you wait for your parents, or wait for your parents to remind you of your homework as a teenager, or you still go to school and you still get into trouble for not doing your homework, it shows that you have a negative attitude towards your studies. And once you have a negative attitude towards your studies, it simply means that you are going to struggle. And because you are struggling, you will not like school. Because you are struggling, you will not like school. So 1, ask yourself, do you wait to be reminded of your homework? Do you wait to be told to do your homework? Or do you get into trouble in school because of homework not done? Number 2, do you make time to read beyond what your teachers give you in class? Do you make time to read beyond what your teachers give you in class? Do you make time to read, or is just your schoolwork you are reading? Now, reading wide actually shows that you are interested. You are interested. And guess what? When you read wide, you don't limit your reading to what you are learning in school. You naturally be broader. You have broader knowledge, wider knowledge. And the more you read, the more knowledge you have. Guess what? The smarter you are. And like I told you before, once you are able to excel in class, your attitude, your mindset will change. The fact that, school is a scam, I don't like school, you begin to see school from a very different perspective, because you will now enjoy it. So that's question number 2. Question number 3, when you don't understand something, do you ask questions, or you just ask questions, or look for answer yourself? What do you do when you are struggling in school? You don't know a particular answer to a question. What do? Do you really go further? Like, okay, I don't know this answer. I don't know this question. I'm struggling with this particular topic. So when I get home, I have a phone. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to research. I'm going to ask Google. I'm going to ask ChatGPT. I'm going to ask YouTube how to solve this problem. Do you do that? Or you just relax? After all, I beg you, put it away. So if you relax, it simply means that you are not putting in enough effort. When you do tests, when your teacher gives you classwork, for example, and you realize, okay, you are scoring 2/5, you are scoring 8/10, even as much as 8/10, the remaining 2 that you did not score well, what do you do with them? You just put your books together and drop it. When you do that, it simply means you are not putting enough effort. You are not applying yourself. You are not pushing yourself. And as long as you are not pushing yourself, you will not do well in school. And as long as you are struggling in school, you will not like it. You will not like it. So if you have a struggle in school, there's a question that you did not answer correctly, what do? When you get back to school from school, one of the first things you should do is pick up your book and begin to see what you can do. You have your textbooks. Oh, go through your textbook, get the answer right. Oh, why didn't I get the answer? You find out why. Okay, you didn't get the answer. You don't have the textbook. You have a phone. Go to your phone and get it and Google it. Google it. Find out why you are struggling with it. Number 4, do you avoid distractions? Do you avoid distractions? Excuse me, please. That stabilizer is coming on and off. Are you noticing it?
Which?
That stabilizer there.
No, I don't notice it.
It's coming on. See it now. I hope it's not.
Flashing lights.
I hope it's not going to affect the panels, the battery rather. Okay, sorry about that. So the number 4 question is, do you avoid distractions like chatting, playing, scrolling when it's time to study? When it's time to study, as a teenager growing up, do you have specific time, place, area you study? Okay, I have a table in my room. When it's time to study, I am just going to put my phone away. I am going to ignore everything. No television and all of that. Do you discipline yourself enough to say no to distractions, to temptations when it's time to study? Do you do that? It is super important. If you don't distract yourself, it simply means that when it's time to study, if you do not, if when it is time to study, you allow distractions, you give in to distractions, it simply means one thing, that you are not even interested, or you don't care, or you are lackadaisical, you don't have the right attitude towards studies. Because if you already have the right attitude towards studies, you know it's time for you to study. So every distraction should be away. Every distraction should be away. You can't be studying and television is on. You can't be studying and your phone is close to you. You can't be studying and people are just making noise all around you. It shows that you are still there. You pretend to be comfortable. Meanwhile, you are not comfortable. What you are doing is you are listening to what everyone else is saying. Listening to what is going on television. Checking your notification on your phone every now and then. What does that tell you? It simply tells you that you do not have the right attitude towards studies. And guess what? As long as you do not have the right attitude towards studies, you will not excel, like I've shared already. And if you don't do well in school, you are definitely not going to like school. School is going to be like stress. It is going to be super stressful when you don't have the right attitude. And nobody likes stress. That is one reason you do not like school. Because you do not like stress. You do not enjoy stress. I do not like stress. I do not enjoy stress. So you need to cultivate the right attitude towards your schooling. So let's go. Do you see education as a tool to shape your future? Not just something to pass exam. That is one thing. You need to understand, have a strong why. See the role education play in your future. It is super important. When you understand as a child growing up, the role education play in your future. Like I was talking about earlier, that, you think, I want to be this. I want to be a fashion designer. I want to be a footballer. I don't need education. Nah. Education will help you refine that passion of yours, that talent of yours, that desire of yours. Education will help you stand out. Education will help you stand out. I remember when we were growing up, not when we were growing, when we were young adults and teenagers, there was this particular person. If you're a teenager, you may not know him more. Two Face was the reigning musician then. Oh my God, he was a superstar. He was not educated. Even in his song, he kept saying it. There was one song I say, "Them think say I be fool because I no go school," something like that. He said that in his song. Because I no go school, every time he used to say, because he saw how I told you at the start, he saw how people kept treating him. He saw how people acted around him simply because he was not educated. If he was educated, they probably would have acted in a different way. But they acted different way because he was not educated. He saw that. So every time he will put it in his music, because I no go school, the things say I no go school, because I no go school. At the end of the day, he had to just go to school. Even he was already an adult, he was already comfortable and all of that before he eventually now went to school. Very many people, very, very many people, no, they say, oh, I'm school. They dropped out of school. At some point in their life, they will go back to school to get their certificate. Because whether you like it or not, people will look at you, people will address you, people will conclude. And the perception, the impression people have of you, that is how they will relate to you. And it is not, no matter what you do, you can't change people's mindset. So going to school, being educated is, especially in this part of the world, in Africa, going to school, there is nothing like self-taught. Our self-taught is not applicable here. When you don't go to school, people just place you on a different kind of level. So even if, I may not use a certificate, go to school and have it so that your voice, where your voice should matter, your voice should be heard when you will be able to speak up when your voice really should matter and your voice will matter, so that you can open rooms, get into doors that really matter. So, do you take pride in doing your best in every subject, even the ones that you don't like? What do you do? When you see a subject you don't like, you just like, or when you see a subject you don't like, you still put in your best. What do you do? Putting in your best will always reflect your attitude. Your attitude. You can be struggling with a particular subject. It shouldn't define you at all in any way. So putting in your best will always reflect in your attitude. Let's go. Do you have personal learning goal for this term? What is your personal learning goal? As a student with the right attitude, you must have learning goals. Look at the subject you are struggling with. Look at what you are struggling with, the areas you are struggling. Oh, your handwriting is not legible. It's not eligible. That is why your teachers will see you. They will not be able to, they don't mark your questions well because your handwriting is not legible. So they don't always see what you are writing. So this term, you are improving on your handwriting. Okay, you are poor at spelling. That is why you don't pass very well. And because you don't pass very well, you are discouraged. Okay, you are going to improve in your spellings. Okay, you don't understand comprehension passages very well. When you have questions, you are kind of not really able to answer them because you struggle with comprehension. You struggle with word problem when it comes to math. Did you set goals? It is super important. Setting goals shows the right attitude towards your education. If you don't have goals, it simply means that you don't have the right attitude. And like I said, if you do not have the right attitude, you are going to struggle because the right attitude is concrete. You can feel it. People will see you. They will see it in you. They can literally feel it. When I say concrete, I don't mean it's concrete that you can touch, but they can feel it. The way you come to school, the way you show up, the way you interact, the things you do, people around you will know that, oh, she has the right attitude. He has the right attitude. And once you have the right attitude towards your studies, it is going to reflect in your grades. And when you begin to pass very well, I tell you, your perception about school, your mindset will change automatically. Because like I was talking about, if you are struggling so much in school, if school is a stress for you, then there's every likelihood that you will not do well in school. and your school is a stress to you because you don't have the right attitude, because you are not applying yourself. Lastly, do you celebrate wins in your school? Okay, your goal can also be, oh, you don't know the multiplication table, you are going to learn the multiplication table. Your goal can also be, oh, you have poor spoken English, you don't know how to use your tenses very well, you are going to what is it called, you are going to learn that, you are going to learn to speak very well. Your goal can be, okay, you are not confident enough, you are not bold enough to answer questions in class, to open your mouth in class and speak, answer questions, ask questions and all of that. You are going to work on your self-confidence. This can be your goal. Anything that will help you improve your studies, that will help you that will improve your attitude towards your studies, they can be your goal. Do you celebrate small wins in studies? That is it. In studies, do you celebrate small wins? Maybe you passed the exam today, maybe yesterday you got 3/5. Today you got 4/5. What does that mean to you? Oh, I'm improving. Yes. So when you always when you celebrate small wins, it simply means that you always look forward to winning. And because you look forward to winning, you are going to apply yourself. You are going to push yourself. You look forward to winning. So you will apply yourself, you will push yourself, and then you will win. So celebrating winning is something that you need to do. So let's look at scoring these questions. Let's score them. Okay, let's score them. Score yourself. Now, I gave you 8 questions to help you check out how committed you are to your studies. Now, of the 8 questions, if you answer yes mostly, it simply means you are building a strong commitment towards your education. It simply means that you have the right attitude and you are building a strong commitment. So I'll tell you, keep going. You are preparing yourself for influence and greatness. Now, if you answer sometimes, if you mostly answer sometimes, it simply means that you are on a journey, but you need more consistency. You decide today to take learning more seriously. If your answer is mostly no, it simply means that you need to be honest with yourself. You are not giving in your best at all. You are not giving in the right effort. You are not taking charge. You are not applying yourself. You don't have the right attitude. Change starts now. Commit to one small step every day. The truth of the matter is, like I said, if you do not have the right attitude, you are going to struggle. And when you struggle, the more you struggle, the more you are going to not like school or anything school, because you are struggling. And if you do not like anything school, because you are struggling already, you are going to see a lot of people around you, your friends, your classmates, they are going to start telling you things. I better leave school, Jare. This person did not go to school. This person did not go to school. This person did not go to school. They are going to give you 1,000,001 reasons not to take your education seriously. Because look at it very well. Because you are even struggling, you are going to attract people who are struggling. You are likely going to attract people who have given up on themselves, who are struggling, who have given up on themselves. Those are the kind of people you are going to attract at the end of the day. And those people, they want to increase the statistics. They're looking for people to join them, to say, nah, I better forget school. Education is this, education is that. They're looking for those kind of people. So what do? They are coming to add you, to recruit you. So they will do everything within their power to convince you. Now, this is why on your own, you must cultivate the right attitude towards your studies. It is not even negotiable. And I've told you, I gave you 2 reasons. I don't want to go into 1,000,001 reasons why you should go to school. One reason I gave you at the beginning is that it will place you in the society. It will place you. Your voice will be heard where you want your voice to be heard. People will not hang around you. Oh, because of what they can. Oh, this one, I beg you, because he has money. What does he know? He's an illiterate. He doesn't know anything. That will not be your case. When you leave, they will talk about you behind you. When your money is gone, you can have all the money in the world, but when it is gone, nobody really values you, because you had nothing apart from that. I gave you that, and also gave you another reason that, see, it will give you an extra advantage. It's an added advantage for you as a teenager growing up. It simply means you are expanding your possibilities, your opportunities. So you are going to have more opportunities. I said your hand can fail you, your leg can fail you, but your brain should not fail you as well. What does that mean? You may go and learn a skill. I have someone near me, like I mentioned earlier, she learned fashion designing. So what happened? She has issues with her legs. She can't use her leg for a long time. So that fashion designing, she's not using it again. What is she using? She had to go and use her certificate. Her certificate. Thank God she went to school. She's using her certificate to actually earn a living. What if she hadn't gone to school? She doesn't have the physical energy to do a lot of things. I have another one also who learned to play football. Who played football. He trained, a professional footballer. While he was playing the club in Germany, he had an injury. Till today, he no longer plays football. He now drives. And guess what? Even that driving he's driving, he cannot drive enough to earn a living. You know why? Because the injury he sustained while on the football field still affects him today. So he cannot drive long distances. While his mates are driving long distances and made any cool cash and able to take care of their family, he is not able to do that. And he doesn't have a certificate. If he had a certificate, he probably would have been in a place working. I used to know someone, he's late now. He had a bad leg. Guess what? Because he was educated, he had a certificate, he was working. All he needed to do was to be driven to work and back from work, and that was it. That was it. He was driven to work and back from work. That was it. You are disturbing me now. He didn't have to stress too much because he had a certificate. Imagine if he didn't have a certificate. What could he have possibly do? Nothing. He couldn't do any physical work. There was no work that required physical energy that he could do. But his mental energy, he had a certificate, and he was not doing a small job. He was doing a job that actually befitted his status, earned him a good living because he had a certificate. So please, I want to encourage you. School is not a scam. School is not a waste. It is an added advantage. I mean, what if you never have an injury? What if you never, I get that, it is valid. That is my prayer for you, But you don't know where the wind of life blows. You don't know about life. You can't predict what will happen tomorrow. So isn't it better to be prepared? Isn't it better to be prepared than to say, had I known? It is better to be prepared, especially because you're in your prime, especially because you still have a lot of energy in you, especially because you are not worried about a lot of things. You don't have burdens. You don't have responsibilities. So you have a lot. The only thing you need to do is to stretch yourself, is to commit yourself, is to stretch your mind and your brain. That is all you need to do, to commit to it. Okay, let's go. Let me quickly give you a toolbox for what you can do. I'll give you a toolbox now. The toolbox are things you need to help you increase your productivity when it comes to study, to help you do better in school when it comes to study. Like I said, one of the reasons you think, school is a scam, you don't like school, is because you are struggling. If you were excelling, if you were coming top, if you were being recognized, you are coming top. Best in biology, your name is mentioned. Best in English language, your name is mentioned. You come out, it will give you so much joy. It will give you pride, You will be happy, you'll be proud of yourself. You will not come out and say, school is a scam and all of that. One of the reasons you think school is a scam or you don't like school is actually because you are struggling. And you are struggling because you have the wrong attitude. So please, if you get your attitude right, I guarantee you, your brilliance will grow. Your brilliance will grow. If you get your attitude right, your brilliance will grow. You will excel. and you will stop struggling. So let me give you a 7-item toolbox to help you increase your productivity when it comes to schooling. So study timer. Use a 25 minutes timer. The Pomodoro method simply means study hard for 25 minutes and take a 5 minutes break. So you don't have to stay and lock yourself. Saturation. Do you know about the law of saturation? That should be one of your assignments. Go and research it. Saturation, you know. You don't have to stay and study from morning till night. No, it's not realistic. You get saturated at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you will not even be able to take in anything. So it's that stress. So what you want to do is to set study timer. Every now, when you come back from school, weekend, set a timer. Tell yourself, okay, I'm dedicating this 1 hour to studying. This 1 hour, 30 minutes to studying. However, they are not going to sit down for 1 hour, 30 minutes straight studying. You take your time, 25 minutes you study. You've taken enough things, enough information in. You've summarized, you've highlighted. Take enough information in for 25 minutes. After that, you take 5 minutes, you stretch out, you take your snacks, you take a glass of water, you say hi to your siblings, you stretch out, and then you take fresh air, you come back again, study for another 25 minutes. You know, do that every weekend. Give yourself 1 hour, 30 minutes to study. Break it down, 30 minutes, take 3 breaks, you know, and see how you are going to improve. The next toolkit I have for you is goal card. Write one clear learning goal for the term and keep it in your notebook or your locker. Write one clear learning goal. Like I said to you, what are you struggling with? Multiplication table, spellings, multiplication table, your tenses, understanding comprehension, understanding your formulas and all of that. What is that one thing you are struggling with? Set it as a goal for yourself. Set it as a goal for yourself. Now, because it's a goal, write it. Put it where you can easily see it. You are coming back from school. It should be on your study table. Or better still, your mirror, your wardrobe, even your book in school. It should be there. One thing you can do, let me give you a simple trick. Have your book, you know, you see this your book. Write the goal you have for the month. Stick it to it. Stick it to every of your notebooks. Every of your textbooks. Just write it on a sheet of paper. Stick it to it. As you are going to school, you are seeing it. You know, you remember your goal. It reminds you of your goal. Number 3 is get a learning journal. At the end of each day, jot down one new thing you learned and how you felt about it. Get a learning journal. At the end of every class, every day, write out something you learned in school today. Take it further. You can research further on it. You can even talk about how it can benefit you. Number 4 is get an accountability partner. Iron sharpened iron. Birds of the same feather, they say, now they say mama born them. That is just me trying to be light. Okay. Get an accountability partner. So what do? Both of you are study buddies. You study together. You know, you are struggling together. You are succeeding together. It is going to help you a great deal. When you have conversations around what you are studying. You have conversations where everybody is talking about something else that may not necessarily benefit you. You and your accountability partner, you have something to talk about that will benefit you. Okay, number 5 is question bank. Keep a small notebook for questions you don't understand in class. Ask your teacher or research them later. Keep a small notebook for your question bank. Anything you don't understand in class, just write it down. You know, ask your teacher, or at the end of the day, you get back home, you do your research, and you learn them better. Reward system. Treat yourself. Small snack, favorite activity, smiley sticker, whenever you hit a study milestone. Like I said, set a goal. You must set a goal, you know. You must also set your academic goal. Not just a goal on area you are struggling with. You also set goals on how you want to perform. If last term you check your result, you had 60 something in math, you can set a goal. I want to have 70 in maths, you know, today. Or last term, check your test. The first test you did that last term, your first test, what was your grade? If your first test for last term was your first test was last term was you got 6/10 in your test, continuous assessment. Tell yourself, okay, my first test this term, I want to get 8/10 in my continuous assessment. Get that 8/10 in it. Set your goals and work, and daily affirm yourself. Start your day with affirmation. I am committed to my education. Every day I learn, I grow, and I prepare for greatness. Affirm yourself every single day. Now, I have a challenge for you, a 30 days challenge. Are you ready to do better in school? Are you ready? If you are ready to be better in school, take this 30 days challenge. And take this 30 days challenge, have it written somewhere, and follow it through every single day. They are just small things, tiny things, you need to do every single day. They won't cost you anything. They won't take anything away from you. It's just something, a challenge. Have everything written and put it somewhere. They will always remind you of your commitment for the month. They will remind you of how you need to develop a new attitude towards your studies, because that is the only way you can say, oh, you can realize the benefit of school. Number 1, write down 3 reasons why education matters to you. Number 1, write down 3 reasons why education, day 1, write down 3 reasons why education matters to you. So what you are going to do is you can come back and take this slowly. Take it slowly. Day 1, write down 3 reasons why education matters to you. Now, day 2, create an affirmation for yourself. I am committed to my learning and growth. Say it every morning and night. Day 2, create an affirmation for yourself, such as I am committed to my learning and growth, and then say it to yourself morning and night. Day 3, clear your study space. Remove distractions. Day 3, clear your study space. Remove every distractions. Day 4, share your education goal with a parent, mentor, or a friend. What is your goal for this term? Share it with a parent, a friend, or a mentor. What is your goal? Share with a parent, a friend, or a mentor. You can come here and share with me. It's okay. Number 5, write the biggest challenge you face in learning. What is the biggest challenge you face in learning? Write it down. Note it. Number 6, find one role model who values education. Find one role model who values education. It could be historical or someone you know. It could be someone from history or someone you know physically. Day 7, reflect. What is one subject you want to improve on this term and why? Day 7, ask yourself, what is one subject you want to improve on this term and why? That is day 7. So now let's go to week 2. Daily habits. Day 1 was all about mindset reset. Mindset reset. Day 2 is your daily habits that will actually help you do better in school. Number 1, set a 25 minutes timer and study without distraction. Set a 25 minutes timer and study without distractions. Day 9, review your notes from school before bed. Before you go to bed, review your notes. Before you go to bed, review your notes. Day 10, ask one extra question in class. When you get to class, make sure you ask one question. Day 11, wake up 20 minutes earlier to read or revise. Day 11, wake up 20 minutes earlier to read or revise. Day 12, write 5 new words you learned today. Write 5 new words you learned today. Day 13, teach someone else what you learned today. Teach someone else what you learned today. Day 14, reflect. How do you feel when you stay consistent? How do you feel when you stay consistent. Now, week 3 is about discipline and focus. From week 3, you have discipline and focus. Let's go. Day 15, write down your top 3 distractions and plan how to reduce them. Write down your top 3 distractions and plan how to reduce them. Day 16, spend 1 hour reading a book outside your school work. It can be a story book, it can be a self-help book, or any book. What did I say? Spend 1 hour reading this book outside your school work. Help you open your brain, broaden your mind, increase your vocabularies, and all of that. Day 17, create a simple daily study timetable. Create a simple daily study timetable. Day 18, say no to one thing that steals your study time. Say no to one thing that steals your study time. Day 19, list 3 reasons why discipline matters for success. List 3 reasons why discipline matters for success. Day 20, practice delay gratification. Finish your assignment before watching TV. Practice delay gratification. Finish your assignment before watching TV. Day 21, reflect. What difference did focus make this week? Reflect. What difference did focus make this week? Let's go. That's week 3 on discipline. Now week 4 is on ownership and growth. Ownership and growth. Let's go. Day 22. Set a short-term academic goal. Finish a chapter, improve in math. Set a short-term academic goal. It can be learn how to spell 20 words by the end of the week. It can be learn how to solve math and a particular math, memorize my timetable, or know my Roman numerals, all of that. Day 23, share what you've learned this week with a friend or a family member. Day 23, share what you've learned this week with a friend or a family member. Day 24, journal about one time you overcame laziness to study. Journal about one time you overcame laziness to study. Day 25, celebrate small wins, reward yourself healthily. Day 25, celebrate small wins, reward yourself healthily. Day 26, watch a short educational video and summarize it. Day 26, watch a short educational video and summarize it. Day 27, write a letter to yourself, to your future self, about why staying committed is worth it. Day 27, write a letter to your future self about why staying committed is worth it. Day 28, choose one skill, note-taking, time management, memory tricks to improve. Choose one skill, note-taking, time management, memory tricks to improve. Day 29, reflect on your 30 days journey so far. What did you learn about yourself? Day 30, make a new pledge. Make a new pledge. Make a pledge. I commit to my education daily. I am building my future. Then affirm yourself. I am smart, focused, and capable. Every day I learn, I grow closer to my dreams. I value my education. I commit to giving in my best because my future is worth it. Again, one of the reasons you don't like school is because you are struggling. And one of the reasons you are struggling is because you don't have the right attitude. And all through this class, I have talked to you about the benefit of taking your school seriously. I've talked to you about how to we have done a test to check if you have the right to check if you are committed to your studies, because if you are not committed, you are going to struggle, and if you struggle, you are not going to like school. So we talked about you struggling and all of that, and I have given you a toolkit, a 7-item toolkit for you to improve in your school. And then lastly, I set you up on a 30 days challenge, one activity every day, and it will help you do better in your school. Lastly, I want you to write a letter to your future self. That is your assignment. Write a letter to your future self. You can do well to type it here, is okay, or you can Write, snap, and send it to my WhatsApp is okay. Write a letter to your future self, or you can choose to do it and not share it. I have an example of a letter here. Dear me, I see the dreams in my heart and the greatness in my future. I know that education is the key that opens the doors to the future. I may not always feel motivated, but I remind myself that every book I read, every class I attend, every assignment I complete is an investment in myself. I refuse to settle for less when I'm capable of more. I will choose focus over distraction, learning over laziness, and growth over comfort. I know that education is not just about passing exams, it is about preparing myself for opportunities, building wisdom, and shaping the life I want. And shaping the life I want. When I feel tired, I will remember why I started. When I feel discouraged, I'll remind myself that I am building a strong foundation that will carry me through life. I will keep going because my future depends on the choices I make today. Dear self, commit, stay strong, stay consistent, and never, ever give up. One day, I will thank myself for the hard work and sacrifice I made now. With determination to study, struggle. And when you struggle, you are not going to enjoy school. And when you don't enjoy school, you are going to attract people who equally don't enjoy seriously. And that is not what you don't want. Remember, you are a global champion. You are a global citizen. You are a global leader. You need your voice to be you need your voice to speak in places that matter. And one of the ways you can actually speak in places that matter is by you educating yourself, being educated, taking your school seriously. I tell you something, tomorrow you are going to regret it. You are either going to thank yourself for the choices you made today or regret the choice you make today. I don't want you tomorrow to regret not taking your academics seriously. We do not want that. You don't want that. I don't want that for you. So education and take it seriously. See, you can excel. All you need to do is to commit to your education. All you need to do is to believe, is to cultivate the right attitude. And that is all you need to do. And me today, I appreciate you. Come back again next week, Saturday, on the method thing, while we take another topic. Remember, if you are a parent watching me, remember we have a class on Tuesdays for parents, the visionary parents. We have a class on Tuesdays. Join us next week. This month is all about having our children, helping our children, growing our children brilliance, helping them excel in school. And if you are not following this channel, please follow this channel, subscribe and share the video. Then you can follow all what we have done this month and what we have done. We have over 200 videos and they are highly empowering. So you can check what we have done previously so that you can learn from us. So come, if you are parents, come on Tuesday and let's talk parenting. And you can also follow me on Facebook on Enimia Orebo. I'll be on Facebook on Thursday, on Wednesday, and on Monday when we also talk parenting. While next week Saturday, I'll also be here again with another topic for your teenager. Thank you and good night.